plug! What's up, guys? Just fouled like my 4th plug in 10 hours after getting 100 hours on the bike without fouling a plug. Yep. Fouled as could be. All right, fresh plug in. All right, guys, got back to the shop. Luckily, we weren't too far away with the bike. Was able to just ride it on a fresh plug, and it seemed to run fine. But let's dig into it and do some troubleshooting. So when you're troubleshooting, the very first thing you want to do is think about what are the simplest things for you to check right off the rip. That'll either confirm or prove wrong a theory that you have. I feel like this bike is running rich, but I also kind of think it's ran rich all the time. So I'm going to drain the oil and measure it and see if I'm consuming oil. If I'm consuming oil, then I can just go ahead and assume that the right-hand crank seal is bad and it's weeping some crankcase oil into the combustion chamber. And that could explain why I'm fouling plugs. A few months ago, I started draining oil into this bin, and then I just marked on the edge of the bin what the normal level should be, and that was both with my bike and Kayla's new bike. So I'm just going to drain the oil in this and compare what we got left. I mean, it hasn't even stopped draining, and that's the same amount of oil I would expect. So we can check the right-hand crankcase seal off the list of possible culprits. If it's not burning crankcase oil, I think the next most likely thing to check is probably if our TPS voltage is set correctly. I guess it could change over time. I do have like an Enduro Engineering heavy-duty guard on there that I would, expect to stop it from taking impacts, but it's possible it could have shifted even just by vibration. So I have no idea how to do that, but let's consult YouTube and figure it out. On second thought, because I've done this before with bikes, let's finish our oil change so that we don't accidentally ride this thing with no fluid in it. Might not be coffee, but we're still staying caffeinated. Last thing I do, just to keep note, is write down a note in my phone when I did the oil change and anything I need to know about it. Good to keep notes.
I just squeeze this in, one goes to the yellow and one goes to the black.
Okay, plot twist. These dudes had a really tiny paper clip, and I think these are too big. So I'm gonna go see if I can find 21 gauge pin nails from some of my tools and use those instead. These are much, much finer. Let's see if I can split 2 of them off of here and use that instead. Yeah, I would say they're much finer. I just sent one straight through my thumb. Okay, 0.537. I don't know what that means, but we'll do some research and figure it out. If you don't know who this dude is, check him out. He is a awesome dirt bike mechanic on TV, Morgan at Highland Cycles. He's about to learn me something. All right, so Morgan said you need to know the voltage when these idle adjust and the cold start is backed all the way off to where there's no resistance. So we'll see. I just unscrewed both the idle and cold start adjustment all the way out. I actually pulled up my repair manual and the instructions for this are in there as well. So now we're gonna hit it again. And we're at 0.374. Interesting. So my TPS actually does need to be changed. It's these torques right here. It's a T25. I'm just gonna loosen the top one first and see if we can get it to swivel just on that. I've done this on a couple other bikes and it can be such a pain to adjust these. You'll like be back and forth on the number over and over and over again. After fighting with it forever, we got it. I'm gonna tighten these bolts up for real good and tight. And hopefully it doesn't change on me. Okay, last check. I'll take it. We're dancing in between 0.39 and 0.4. Got both the knobs adjusted. I actually sped it up a bit to have it idle where I like. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, we'll see if that actually fixes my issue. All right guys, as with any troubleshooting, taking notes is really important. So I just wrote a little list down of what I did. Oil consumption, totally normal. TPS voltage, when I tested it without adjusting the adjusters, then what it was after I backed the adjusters all the way out, I set it to 0.4 plus or minus 0.001. And then I adjusted the idle to a spot I like and my cold start speed to a spot I'm happy with. So I wrote that down. I'm gonna ride the thing for a bit, see if we found another plug, and then I will take more notes on top of that. That way we can make a change and then confirm whether or not it actually made a difference. So I'll report back, but thanks for tagging along. All right, just got done on the old butt dyno, ripping it around the backyard. Seems to run fine. I don't know, the only way to tell is to do some long downhills and see if I foul a plug again. A little bit of spooge, just from doing some wheelies in the backyard, but it's pretty normal, honestly. Since we have the time, let's keep wrenching. Here's a little tip, guys. I learned this from Jay Clark, Dirt Bike TV. Anytime you have multiple bikes and you're doing maintenance, put a little blue tape on the back and write down a list of what you need to do. So I can check both these off, check the oil change off. I need to check spokes, do an air filter, and play with some clickers. On Kayla's bike, I gotta do filter. I don't think she's gonna be riding it for a while, so I don't want the fuel to get stale. I'm gonna drain the fuel, check her spokes, and then play with her clickers as well. Then this bad Larry is about to get raced in a couple weeks. So I'm gonna make a cool video about that, but I need to race prep it. So we're doing tires. I'm gonna put different tires on it. Check the spokes, it needs a filter, it needs an oil change. I gotta put gas in it. And then I'm contemplating playing with the gearing and jetting for this race. So let's get it done. I have no idea how many hours are on this oil. Oh, not bad. Probably should have written this one down too. I don't even know if it needed it. All right, we just finished our workout, but I forgot to film doing this one. I wrapped this wheel with a VX40F, and then we have a VE33S on the back. That rear tire is not really my favorite rear tire, but it was free, so works for me.